Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Simple Life with Gary Collins. That is me. Oh, we're diving in deep today. Holy cow. But it had to be said. And I get asked a lot of questions about current events through email. And I don't know. It's not that I shy away from them, but I'm on other podcasts and I talk about that. You know, we started the Right Dudes podcast. We talked about this a little bit in a recent episode. And so I kind of talk about those things in other formats, but I'm realizing with the way things are going and with my background, it probably makes sense because people ask me, well, maybe I should kind of air them on this podcast as well. I realize my camera is way crooked here. I am way off center. What in the world happened? But with that, I want to get into this. I know it's a sticky issue, but I want you to be open-minded. That's what living the simple life is all about. You need to be a more open-minded. Hear me out on this when I get into this. For those who don't know, I have a quite a bit of experience with weapons, firearms. Am I a gun nut by any stretch of the imagination? No, not at all. Why is my, oh my Lord, I'm trying to center up. I think my whole console has moved is the problem. So I'll get into that. But before we get too far in this, I wanted to start with be open-minded. Don't start screaming at the screen and getting all pissed off. That is not how we solve this problem, first of all. That does not help by being closed-minded. And I've had some people, I'm on Twitter, folks. If you want to go there, it's at Simple Life Now. It's the only one I use. I go on there and throw bombs here and there every once in a while. And I just like to see things. I'm in a different group. I don't get caught up in all the craziness. I call crazy Twitter. There's normal Twitter and crazy Twitter. Most people live in crazy Twitter. I stay away from that. I try to stay in a little bit normal, sensible Twitter, which is a very small world. But if you want to follow me there, but some people just, I saw the lines drawn and I just couldn't get it. So I figured, we need to do an episode about this and talk about this a little bit more from my perspective. Remember, this is my perspective. All right. That's what you need to realize. So, but it comes from experience. I'm not someone who is speaking out their ass. I hate that. And that's what's going on a lot in this country, especially these politicians. All right. We'll dig into that. But prior, need to do some announcements real quick. All right. I'd really appreciate it. I put a ton of work into building the subscription model for you guys to get commercial free and full videos on the website. You don't have to subscribe to any additional software. You can watch them on your phone, listen to them on your phone via the website. So you're not getting caught up on something tracking all your moves, some third-party app, some other platform. It's my website. We don't track any of that crap. All right. So trust me. It takes extra time. It takes me an extra hour or two per episode to be able to put it together so you guys can have access to that. And we built it all in-house. I hope, it was a pain in the ass. We're still working on some of this stuff. It works great, but we want to make it better, continue to make it better. It's the only place you can get the full-length videos. I put video segments on Rumble and YouTube. So look for The Simple Life with Gary Collins if you want to see the segments. They're very short. They're just a little outtake of the podcast episode, but you can go watch those there. And if you want to subscribe there and watch them, they're free there. But if you don't want ads on the audio side, you subscribe. It's $4.99 a month. I put a ton of work into this. Me and my producer, we work really hard on this. So I'd appreciate it if you would go there. You go to thesimplelifenow.com, go to podcast, hit that. You'll see subscription right underneath it. The money goes straight to supporting the podcast. No phony business. And I'm not buying a $6 million house in LA. All right. And hiding behind a fence. None of that. All right. You guys know how I live. I document all of it. It's all out there for you to see. Very simple life. Hence the name. And also, if wherever you listen to this, if you listen to it on another platform or wherever, if you would subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. That helps with the algorithm. Leave a review. Those all help. Those help build the audience. And that's how it gets out. This is all homegrown. There's no corporate sponsors. I'm not on a network. This is all done by me and a small team. We handle it. We do all this, and it's all done in America. I don't outsource any of this crap to Vietnam or anything like that. Nothing wrong with Vietnam. I have listeners there. But you know what I mean? We do all this in-house. We do it right. So I'd really appreciate, the support. And if you would just hit subscribe on those platforms, but you can get the commercials. So honesty. For all you who listen to this, the newsletter, I've harped about this. I call it a newsletter, but it's more an update. It's the Simple Life Insider Circle. So if you go to the website, a pop-up will come up. You sign up for it there. This isn't spammy. I don't randomly email you stupid stuff. I try to keep the emails down to a bare minimum, only when things are important. It's not even on a schedule. But that's where I give all the deals. That's where I give all the announcements. I let it all there. It's our house. This is where I can basically control everything for us. So I just did a special summer coupon for 10% off your entire order with free shipping. The only people who saw it, though, were on the newsletter. Those are the only people who got that coupon. So that's why I say sign up for that. That's where I give all those out to. Now, do I do some on the podcast? Yes, but guess what? They're different coupons. So if you sign up for the newsletter and the updates and you listen to the podcast, you're going to get 2 coupons. Come on, people. Well, come on, save money. So with that, I will announce this one. This is a podcast coupon. Podcast 10, the number 10, PODCAST 10. No spaces, no caps, no nothing. Again, number 10, not spelled out. Use that. That's for you guys who listen to this podcast. And if you're on the newsletter, you can use that one too. But I just sent that out. A bunch of people took advantage of it. That's the way. And I plan to do some more things, but it's always primarily going to be through the newsletter and the update email list. That's where you get all this information. Matter of fact, I'm going to be sending out a project I just did very soon. It's a good one. I really liked it. Cheap project. Good one. I liked it. It's very, it's for my mental health that we all can benefit from. So with that, yes, please do that. I'd appreciate it. Put a lot of work into this thing and I enjoy it. I do. One last announcement with Ask Gary Anything. I'm putting that on hiatus for now. I did almost 20 episodes of that. We've gone through a lot of questions. Don't worry. You can still send your questions. I'll bank them. But what I plan to do now, since we did a ton, I mean, there's a lot of questions in there and answers, a lot of episodes. So what I'm going to do is special episodes here and there. I'll combine them all and I'll just do an entire episode or 2 on all your questions. So you can still send them. Send them to contact@thesimplelifenow.com or go to thesimplelifenow.com and fill out the contact sheet, and those will eventually be routed to me. All right. Oh, diving in. I'm going to, this is a tough one. I tried going around, and the reason I delayed it is there was so much hoopla going on after the shooting in Texas, the recent school shooting in, Alveda? I'm sorry, I'm going to screw the name up. So it started this whole gun debate thing again and gun control. And I like I said, open-minded people, you need to be open-minded. We need to come in the middle here. We have a problem. And I'm going to say this flat out. Like I said, people are pretty shocked by my gun control stances in a way. But once they hear me through and once they hear it, they kind of go, okay, I see where you're coming from. But we don't have a gun problem in this country. The Second Amendment is what keeps us free of tyranny. If you're more on the liberal side, you just have to understand this, because I know there's a lot of people who have never owned a gun. They never shot a gun. They've never been around a gun. Totally fine. But that means you don't understand it at all. You have no understanding of the debate, to be honest with you. That's why I'm doing this episode too, is for you to kind of fill you in on someone who I started shooting firearms when I was 7. Like I said, I grew up poor, but everyone around me was poor. I'm not poor Gary. We were all poor, but we had guns. We hunted. Almost everyone hunted back then. I gave the stories of my 12 gauge or my 20 gauge falling out of my truck one day because I'd gone hunting the night before. It was still in my gun. This was common. And the damn thing was loaded. All right. All of our shotguns were loaded because it was a different time. No one got shot. No one got a gun pulled on them. just a different time. I used to talk about the sanctioned fights. You know, the teachers would go, we'd go to the park. We had a park in our town. And if you had a beef with someone, it was a small town. I mean, it was going to be your friend more than likely. And you'd have a little problem. You'd go out to the park, you punch it out for a little bit. No one gets hurt. Maybe get a bloody nose, a little black eye. The teachers would stand there and watch, make sure nothing got out of hand. And I'll be honest with you, we regulated it too. I remember a kid, there was a fight that started right in the street in front of our parking lot, in between the school and the parking lot. And he brought brass knuckle, new kid. And we flat out, two of us grabbed him, pulled the brass knuckles out of his hand and said, son, not here. That's not how shit goes here. And he proceeded to get his ass beat.